Hey everybody, welcome back. My name is Solomon Bailey, online tag name HaloNix76, and today we are doing a tour of my builds on the Oof Realm. Now, we are already actually in the Nether, if you can't tell by the background music, but we're standing in front of my portal hallway. Now, we've actually been working already for the hub, so that way we can just run through the Nether. And underneath here is soil, so when we have our soul speed boots, which I don't have on me right now, we just like fly through. We've gone about 200 blocks in every direction with the main archways and the ceiling, and we're working on this pattern, which was the pattern that won the contest we recently had for the walls. Now this is the Nether hub, which goes to obviously north, east, I'm in the south, and the west direction. When we also have little address books here, so that way when you go down a hallway, you can see that the Sith family, Goldfish is Predator, Darkness is living on 100, Adela and Andrea are at 180. I think that was 180. Yeah. But you can actually find the locations of people's nether hallway or how to get to their portal a lot easier because of that. I'm going to step into the portal for spawn and show you a few of the shops real quick. I'll be right back. Alright, we are back and we are actually in the spawn area. This is going to be like, it's like a sushi shop in. It's going to be really cool when they get that done, which I'm looking forward to. Down here is where we have the shops. I'm going to mainly showcase my shops because I don't have permission to go into everybody else's shops at the moment. So over here we have the awkward bottled potions, which I have done an awkward bottle shop. It was a bar the last time I did it, but this time I decided to do it a little bit bigger because I wanted to get the hat. Let me go ahead and run down here for the hat. Run. Put my bow hack back on. But yeah, that is the Awkward Bottles Potion Shop. I wanted to go, because potions are usually thrown by witches in the game, I wanted to put like a witch's hat on top of it. But I wanted something a little bit more that I couldn't do the last time, because I wanted it to actually be an aquarium. So inside here, you could see the fish swimming over there, and I have coral and stuff like that. So the potion shop is actually an aquarium with a witch's hat on top of it. All right, let's go ahead and head into the shop. Now the shopping is super easy. I made it so that every potion that is sold is 1 diamond each, and they're all organized kind of like by their type, because if you make night vision, you can turn that into invisibility. So, and I also have a way for you to make special orders if you wanted to. You can pause and read that. All right. But yeah, this is the Awkward Bottles Potion Shop. It is an Encore subsidiary, just like I've done in other realms, where Encore is the department store. I'm not sure if I'm going to bring back Encore or just leave that as a nod to the past, and that all these little businesses and companies are actually owned by Encore. Over here you have the Sith family build, or their shop, Darknesses. That is, or was, Irons. Okay, I was a little stunned that it's missing, but yeah, Irons build was right there, or his shop was right there. Maybe he's redesigning it. I don't know. Okay, over here is the Oof Library, which is where we get all the library books. Up there is Magikarp and Oscar's Pufferfish. Magikarp built that from her with no tutorials. Did a great job on that. Over here is E1. E1 is just like a convenience store. It's a rotating stock. The only thing I'm promising to keep in there is the Ender chests. But everything in here, the idea for E1 is everything for 1. So everything in here is going to either be 1 diamond block, if I ever sell anything that expensive, 1 emerald, which 1 emerald items are going to be... Ooh, I made an emerald. Yeah, they're really simple stuff, whereas some of the more important stuff, like, you know, the hyped up, maxed out bows, those are going to be just 1 diamond. I have a skeleton spawner, so I make them easily. But yeah, you got essential items. I have some gold armor on sale today. Oh, which I've actually sold. It is a BOGO, so you buy one, you get one free. And that's something else. I'm just getting off the skelly spawner, so I'm going ahead and maxing them out as best as I can, making them fully enchanted. That's what I sold. I sold the Aqua Infinity Respiration helmet over there. I had one of those over there, and I had some really cool boots. So somebody did BOGO for that. But yeah, there's some obsidian and other stuff. It's just a basic stock, or basic shop with a rotating stock. Only thing promised to stay in there is the ender chest. So I'm gonna skip back over to the Nether hub, and we'll talk. I'll bring you right back. Okay, hey, this is editing me because I went into my editing and realized that I hadn't shown you the one next to Andy's Oof library is Adela's shop, which they're kind of building in the same building style, which I really love. But the reason I kind of I'm not showing everybody's inside of their shops, but I do need to show the inside of this shop because this is netherite here. And this is actually my shop, which is a service for netheriting your gear. Pause and read. I will explain this though. It's very simple. Like, you pay 1 diamond block, which covers 7 diamonds to make a new template. I get a 2 diamond processing fee. You give me an ingot in the gear, and I will make sure your gear gets netherited. I'm reminding players to name their gear before the process because it gets so expensive afterwards. And just to put your stuff in the barrel, and me or Adela, who is the owner of the build, she also will help netherite the gear for you. So, but anyway, now we will go ahead and go back to hey darkness. We will go back to the actual my builds and go do my actual house. Alright, we are back. We're actually in front of the nether hallway for my area. I went ahead and tried to do a theme in each one of these little corridors. I used to separate these little sections the wood type in my area. I have like 5 different wood types. I have oak, dark oak, birch, jungle, and spruce in my area. So I use those as my little archways. Pardon me. At least I didn't burp. And then I tried to, in between that, first I tried to make this into a portal itself, or look like you were walking into a portal. And then each one of these little sections is going to be something that I'm building. Like, I plan on putting up balloons or hot air balloons in my area. I want to do ships, and I started out in a ship that was just derelict on the beach, so that's one nod to that. This is actually this skelly spawner design. This is actually my bridge design that I'm going to be using in the area. I might wind up putting up more than one bridge. I have one up now. This is the palette that I'm going to be using for my ice farm when I do build the ice farm. And inside here, I will let you look at it, and then I'm going to show it to you. I'm not going to tell you what it is, because that's going to be... That's the big build so far. So, anyway, and this is how I get down into my nether mines for blackstone and quartz and stuff like that. One of the tricks that I'm using here to keep from spawning in the area is actually using these skulk veins, because they actually make it so that this block that's on top of this block is non-spawnable, because there's an object in that block. So, and obviously I'm using half slabs for the store. But anyway, we will be right back, and we'll come into when we come through the portal. Oh, well, that was rather quickly spawn. If you can't see, I have like a doorbell. All right. Let me see if I can make it daylight, and then I'll come right back. All right, there we go. It's daylight. See, I'd rather actually show you the area and what I have in the daylight. I have a couple horses over here. I just got gifted the Skelly horse from a friend, but my main build and my big build is over here. Obviously, this is a little dripstone farm. This is the ship I lived in for a hot minute, for a good month, but I really have, ever since last October, when Instagram and Pinterest and Facebook were all showing like these Gothic houses for like October, Halloween month. So I've always wanted one of those. I thought they're really pretty. So I built one. But that is the main reason for me to do the video today, is because when you look at it from here, you don't really see all the details, especially in photos. So I've got to make a video to show you the detail work I did on it. Or at least for me to have remember the detail work, because nobody really watches my videos. But anyway, this is a little boat that was on the shore. I lived in this for a hot minute. There's absolutely nothing left in here now. Let me put my emerald away. But we're going to run over here and we'll take a good look at the bridge as we're coming to the area. I tried to put a little shading on the bridge to make it a little less busy. It was very busy when I first built it, and I had the base design, and I had actually some consults from other server members, and they helped me out with this bridge. Not building it, but making sure that I get it right. One of the parts being that I actually had the fence posts going all the way through on these areas here, but it actually looks a lot cleaner just this way, and you still don't walk off of it. So let's run up to the house, and if you can see right over here, I have a little barn looking area. We'll go ahead and do the garden area. Hopefully at this point I'll figure out in editing, maybe not, to actually put up a couple of the reference photos that I actually did, or that I actually pulled off of Pinterest so that I could do this house. I did it all in survival. I didn't do anything in creative. I had to kind of figure out the build for myself, and I had to tear stuff down and rebuild it constantly. But I did it in about 3 to 5 days. At least the exterior. The interior took way longer. But that's the detail work I'm going to be showing you. And it's obviously because I did the entire roof out of hay. This farm ran overload as much as possible. I bone mealed it a ton to get all the hay I needed. But yeah, that's just a little simple pig farm. I don't know if you guys saw it in the earlier part, but I have like 2 different sheep farms. I didn't want all the colors of the sheep, but I do need them for making the hot air balloons, so I went ahead and did that. I did a lot of adventuring and trying to find sniffer eggs, so I have a pot or a pot on every single door, if not 2. But let's come in here. We'll take a good look at the living room. If you guys recognize the clock has been here for a hot minute. It's something I put in every one of my builds. This is the grow bed area. This is one of the things that took me a little bit longer, is because I went out and got every plant that there is in the game. I don't have the glow lichen up here, but I do have glow lichen. It just didn't work with the build when I put it up there. I kind of wanted it to be a little bit like that greenhouse in a house, so I made it all very, very glass. And I love how when you have a greenhouse like this, if it has a book nook in it, so I went ahead and put my little library here with my enchanting table with little places for you to lay down and read the books. But we're going back over here to the living room because the living room is a good example of how I actually used every type of wood in my area. This is obviously a birch couch, and everything else in here is oak, but I do have in each one of these areas as a detail piece that some people wouldn't notice if I didn't point it out. The birch is in that little pot. I got mushroom there, but I have the oak in this pot. So in every room, you're going to run across the actual sapling. I say sapling in a pause because if you caught a quick glimpse, I used the blue woods over there. So those aren't saplings, those are mushrooms. But I used every type of wood and I put them in a pot in the room that they're actually in. I didn't use really any jungle or acacia in the house, so I put them down here. But yes, right over here, you can see that I have the blue wood and I have the blue mushroom in here. That's from getting the sniffer eggs. I got the red for the kitchen over here, which the kitchen is just kind of like, it's not really a galley kitchen. I set it up in a way that I could actually brew in here and just smelt all my stuff. Speaking of smelting. Oh, and we will be walking outside. Let's go ahead and take that. La dee da dee da. All right. So yeah, the kitchen is basically a nice little setup. I put a couple little like God words picture frames to be TVs that are just hanging out in there, and these are your actual bigger TVs for gaming and stuff like that. Okay, so let's step out the back door because this is kind of my work area. I have an obsidian farm right here, or machine right here. That's what I have. Why I have so much lava drip is because I needed that. I have a sugarcane machine which has the auto for bone meal. So I just put the bone meal in there and flip the switch. But it does automatically fire on its own when the sugarcane itself grows. But I also have the composter function. So this is a super sugarcane farm. Basically, if you put the bone meal in there, it'll load into the dispenser automatically, and you activate the dispenser like this by turning it on, and it'll just automatically click, 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 bone mealing the sugarcane. As soon as the sugarcane grows high enough, the observer fires the piston over here, which is a super simple design. Observer onto the block with the piston. But over here, you have where you can put in anything that's compostable. I do a lot of seeds because of how big the wheat farm is. Even though the wheat farm takes about 6.5 stacks to replant, I still wind up with like 14 or 18 stacks to throw in here. So that leads into the composter. The composter puts it into here. As soon as the bone meal moves through this, it fires the comparator sees that something is in the hopper. So composter to hopper. Comparator sees that the hopper has something in it. It tells the observer that there's something, changes that. The observer actually fires twice, and that will automatically guarantee that the bone meal gets fired, which will grow the sugarcane, which will fire the piston, and then everything gets picked up into one chest. It's not a complicated design. It's actually pretty simple. Now, I do have a chicken cooker. This is my main source for food. I never have to do anything for it because they automatically, as soon as they grow up, they cook and they wind up in here. Speaking of which, might as well do my maintenance while I'm with you. So over here we have the bin or the trash can, which has an ice block, so everything slides over into the trapdoor. Push the button for the trapdoor, falls in lava, and gets destroyed. Okay, so let's go ahead and head upstairs and we'll take a good look at my bedroom, because we're getting about where the sun's coming down anyway. I wanted a big giant bed, and damn it, Uwu, if you're not getting stuck on the banner again. She does that all the time. Oh, I need to put those in the kitchen. All right, ADD. Well, not real ADD. It's just I don't want to do it. I'm gonna do it while I'm thinking about it. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and put those away. Now, if you've noticed, I haven't put any of my diamonds away, which would annoy some people. But those diamonds are actually for a contest that's happening on the server right now, so I've got to keep them separate and safe from my diamonds. So anyway, I've in the Gothic houses that I've seen and stuff like that, they always had a big, like banister bed and stuff like that. So, and this is just where I'm keeping my allays. But I had that built, but it didn't have these banners on it. And one of the players, Darkness, on the server, he came up and he's like, it doesn't look right. And I was like, I know, it doesn't look right. And he came up with the idea of putting the pink banners up there, which was genius. So let's go ahead and hop in the bed and make it daylight. Because we do have one person sleep on the server now. So over here is my important items. Speaking of which, we're not going back into the nether. Let's go ahead and get rid of that helmet and put that in my ender chest. All about the organization. But this is my end table with all my important stuff. If I need to grab something that it's a tool or something like that, it's usually in there. I did want to have like a closet or like an armoire or something like that where you can, like hang your clothes. This is usually where I'll AFK or something like that. This is the dresser where I don't really have clothing, but I have like templates and stuff like that in there. This is a vanity for all the girls. I've seen that in so many of the different photos that I had to try and build one, and this is what I came up with, which this has always been my favorite picture in the game, but it makes like a perfect mirror because yes, I need makeup. Okay, anyway, we'll go over here to the workstation. Another look of the grow beds in the greenhouse from the top. But this is my work area. Oh, almost forgot, on top of the dresser, that is the mangrove and the cherry wood that's in this room. But over here we have, obviously, this is dark oak and the dark oak over here. I use the spruce sapling because the spruce is the color that's closest to the barrels. But this is my little workstation and work area, and if I'm actually going to be working on something, I put it up. I put the books up here. Down there in the book nook, I have other books that are less important that I've come across, but no need to destroy them. Somebody might need a sharpness one some point. This is the actual area, which we will eventually go up over in this area. We came in down here, and we've gone all the way over, and we're in the house. We'll take and do a little more of the outside of the house on our way out. We'll go up here and take a look at the storage, because obviously being in an attic, I put a little bit of, like nobody comes up here, but honestly, I'm up in my attic all the time. It is a constant that I'm up here, but I kind of wanted to make it look like, dead plants and stuff like that. Like this isn't an area that gets used at all. Even though this is probably one of my most used parts of the house. You can actually walk out in here and walk up onto the roof, which I'm going to do for those builders so that they can get an idea of what I did. Obviously half slabs and stairs, but I did do regular brick to raise up to get like that vaulted type feeling of the roof. A little behind the scenes with the lighting that's actually on the roof, but that's the only lighting I actually needed to put up here. I really did as minimal as I could with the lighting. But let's go outside and take a good look at the actual walls of the house, and then we will head up to the Skelly farm. I saved the walls the last of the house, or I saved the walls kind of last because this was the harder work, and I kind of wanted to get the feeling of like faces. Like you're looking at faces. Yes, I wanted that portal looking windows, but I also wanted I don't know what, I think these are sconces, but I wanted those, and using the cherry wood as the trim to make it look that Gothic feel. But yeah, I've got a couple different faces hanging out in the side of the house to make it a little more creepy. Nothing directly from Minecraft specifically, but you know, Minecraft-esque. On the back of the house, though, because of the doorway, I have faces over here, but you don't really have... It's more just the big windows is what I did. Especially up top, because that's where the big windows were. And I kind of like framed that one doorway, but really what I'm most proud of is how I tied in the sconces for the house to get that Gothic looking feel of the actual house. Which we'll do one more look over here, because each one of these is different. They all have a different design to them. That's another thing I wanted to do, is didn't want anything to feel exactly the same. All right, so we're gonna go up here. We're almost done with our tour. I made pathways over here so that way I could just run straight there. It's not like a real pathway, it's just stairs leading up to what I wanted to do over here, where I found a Skelly farm. So it's not super important, but it was important to me, so I kind of like... I knew I was going to be coming over here a lot, so I wanted to, one, be able to run directly over here, but I wanted to actually enjoy the build itself, so I put a skull over my Skelly farm. This is just a faux skull, obviously, but I put a little bit of work into it because my first idea design did not work at all. I was going for a really steampunky style, and for the outside, that just was not going to work. So I wound up making just a regular skull. This is actually like the third regular skull I've built in survival, and it actually wound up being one of the best ones I have. It's actually the biggest too. So yes, obviously being that it is a Skelly farm, it is all made out of bone block, and we have bone block all the way down to the Skelly farm. But I wanted the skull idea to feel like it was a little more alive, so I put gears on the walls and comparators and like fuses like that, and like the piping up here, and this piping that hasn't grown, so that it felt like it was still got that steampunky style inside, because it is kind of mechanically alive on the inside. And obviously that piping hasn't finished growing. I have another one over there that's already up into the roof. So anyway, we're moving down and continuing with these big giant bone block walls. Yes, that is a lot of bone block, but I've been doing this for a minute. So we get down here and we are actually in the Skelly farm. There's the Skelly farm there. I like having a big giant window to see the skeletons move through there. They pop out down here. I have a smelting system for the gold and iron armor that they drop, chainmail and the like. Over here, as you saw in my shop, this is where I make my bows. So I have power, unbreaking, punch, flame, infinity, double, meaning that it has 2 different enchantments on it, triple, and then the working ones that I'm working on. And then when I am working, I need to put them away for a minute, so I usually use the finish box. Pardon me. So obviously I'm going to come down here and I'm going to wind up AFKing a little bit, so I do have some super smelters down here, another trash bin for all the excess stuff that I actually will get. I use regular bows to actually smelt the gold and the iron, and they automatically feed into there. There's a chest back there for hoppers, and a chest here and a hopper there. I disenchant as much as I possibly can to get out as much XP as I can, but I've been doing this, and I've had this built for a minute, so I actually have up here a sugarcane, a cactus farm, and a kelp farm. And those are all passive farms that while I'm AFKing or working right here, they're just automatically running. Oh, I do need to heal this up. Yay! There we go. So obviously there is a bunch of bones, and really I don't have anything left to show you at the moment. I mean, I could take you down in my diamond mines, but they're just diamond mines like everybody else's. I put some stairs and half slabs down there so that it's easier to navigate up and down. I have a geode down there, and then I do have a skelly farm, which the skelly farm was a little interesting to build. I had to build it at negative 58, so I only had like 2 blocks to work with in actually doing it. So we'll head back up, but I did want to show you one last thing. The reason why I didn't do the gears and everything the whole way down is because when I was building it, I realized that this hallway right here, going from here to nothing to it, had just such nice framing. I had to stop like right there. So I made the command decision to basically just end the actual building of it there, but we'll be running back to the house overnight, and you'll get a chance to see the house at night. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking here and let you guys just enjoy the video. My name is Solomon Bailey, online tag name HalenX76. I am creepy but safe, and you stay creepy but safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Hey, welcome back. We are actually standing in front of the actual nether portal. Take 2. All right, we are standing in front of. Hey, all right, let's try that again instead of going piglin.